Hey, what's up guys, I'm Ben, welcome back to the channel. Today we talk about a common problem that prevents many of you from playing VR games for long session. You feel dizzy, you feel sick, you feel headache, stomachache, you feel nausea, or you even puke after a few minutes of play. Well, all of this has a name and it's called motion sickness. Like, share, subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date. You can find me on my Facebook page, Advanced VR Fair, and follow the link in description to Instant Gaming website to buy your favorite games for big discounts. Okay, let's go. What is it? Motion sickness. It's a natural response from your brain to some state of danger. Of course, in VR, there is nothing really dangerous, okay? But some subjects may be more sensible to the movement, and this can cause a reaction from the brain. Now, why you feel sick? The reason could be many, and there is no a unique reason why you feel sick, but the most probably reason it's because the brain do not recognize the contrast of your body staying still on a spot while everything around is moving. This makes your brain think that you have been poisoned or under the effect or some toxic substance, and the brain, to protect you from the poison or from toxicity, caused the nausea to your body, and so you puke because your body is trying to expel the poison. But of course there is no poison, of course you're not poisoned, it's just a kind of malfunction of the brain. This of course do not happen only in VR, but it can happen on cars, trains, planes, ship, and everything about vehicle and traveling can make you suffer with motion sickness if you have this kind of sensibility. Anyway, if you suffer with motion sickness, for example, when you travel with car, it is not said that you will suffer during VR experience. Me, for example, I suffer of motion sickness when I travel on car, no matter if I sit back or if I sit to the side of the driver, but I do not suffer motion sickness when I drive, when I take a train, a plane, a ship or whatever. And luckily I never suffer with motion sickness when I play VR, even with the most dynamic games. And if you ever had a ride into a rover in Elite Dangerous, you know what I'm talking about. As I already said, the problem is that you are sitting still on a spot while everything around is moving. So your brain gets confused and causes nausea. But in VR there is something more. In fact, most of the cases of motion sickness about VR are caused because of the refresh rate. For example, the 72 Hz from Oculus Quest are very low. In fact, many Quest users have motion sickness. Developers have established that everything is above 80 Hz reduce drastically motion sickness. In fact, the same Quest users that had motion sickness with 72 Hz, they never had any problems with 80 Hz from Rift test, for example. So the first thing you should do to reduce motion sickness is to try a higher refresh rate. For example, with another headset, of course, that has a higher refresh rate. If you are a Quest owner, you can go into a Rift test or even a Quest 2 with the 90 Hz. And then, basing on my own experience, because as I said, I suffer with motion sickness when I travel a car since I was a kid, on my personal experience, trying to get it used to motion sickness, training to adapt your body to motion sickness, it's a bullshit. And everyone who say keep playing so you will adapt to motion sickness, they never had motion sickness, so they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, okay? It's like if I say, well, keep taking kicks to the groins, so sooner or later it will hurt no more. I don't think so, and even if it's so, before I get used to it to kick to the groins, I become sterile. And that's why you can get used to the kick to the groins. Simply because you will not have any more groins to kick. Anyway, in all my life I never adapted to motion sickness. Simply because it's not your body that needs to adapt, but it's your brain. And motion sickness is one of those primal brain behavior that you cannot control. It's not like fear, anger, it's not something that If you work on it, you can control. Motion sickness is primal, is primitive, you cannot control. So stop keep playing, trying to adapt to motion sickness, because it will never happen and you will feel sick every time. You may reduce motion sickness, for example, standing. If you play sitting and you feel motion sickness, if you stand, you will reduce the motion sickness. You will stretch the time within the motion sickness arrive, and so you can stretch a bit your playing session. Now I show you some little movements that you can do during your gameplay, and these movements is something like the one I do when I start to feel sick inside the car, because as I said, I don't suffer motion sickness in VR, but I suffer motion sickness when I am passenger in a car. And when I start to feel the first symptoms of motion sickness, I start to move my feet and my legs as I am walking inside the car. And this mostly prevent the motion sickness. This mostly works. So if we want to apply this method in VR, first of all, play standing and make a step forward, then come back to your spot, then make a step back, move to the side, move to the other side. Do not use thumbstick to turn, but physically you turn around, okay? With your body, with your head, crouch with your body, so do not use button to crouch. In short, you have to convince your brain that what you're doing in VR is real. Remember that motion sickness, it's not because everything around is moving, but it's because you are not moving. So as I said, don't kill yourself trying to play always more with the hope that you can reduce motion sickness, with the hope that you can adapt your body, because it's not works like that, okay? Okay, let me know down in the comments if these tips were helpful for you, and let me know if you was able to stretch your gameplay session in VR. From Ben, it's all. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date. See you to the next one, and see ya in VR. Ciao ragazzi!